Can you dig it? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing this fantastic evening? This is Untethered Live, and I'm your host, Jake Johnson. And we have lost our collective sanity. That's all right. It's okay. It's raining outside. It's been one of those days, drizzle, drizzle, drizzle all day long. I love it. Good sleeping weather. Still can't talk, but that's all right. That's never stopped me before. The whole of the world has tried to shut me up. A little laryngitis ain't going to stop me now. How's everybody doing? How's the weather where you are? I'm chilling here in the lair, in the den, in the hideaway, the secret hideout, the cabal room, where we often dress up and have cabals. Well, that guy's got some cabals. I've met some new friends over the weekend. It's always a good thing. Meeting new people, getting new experiences and new perspectives. And sooner or later, that friend may be introduced to you. You never know. It could happen. Where's everybody at? Who's with me so far? Anybody? Somebody? Maybe? Nobody? Could it be a bot? Could be a bot. I'm probably talking to myself, which is the definition of insanity, but that's all right. I've long known that I've been insane. I got some interesting things we're going to talk about tonight. Going to do a little bit of chat mining when some folks get here and, pick the brains of the collective soul, as it were, and figure out what everybody wants to hear. And then I've got some articles to read a little bit later on. And I'm going to tell some stories, of the true variety. Things that actually happened. Yeah. Things that are legend in my own mind, if you know what I mean. Hey, there's a Caucasian Sasquatch. I thought I smelled something funny. What's the difference between an Italian ant and an elephant? Well, an Italian ant is a person and an elephant is not. I don't know. What? You tell me. £50 in a black dress. Snap. I like it. Hey, baby. Meet me with your black dress on. Come on, baby. Meet me with your black dress on. I'm gonna get you off in the corner and we can bone. Huh? What? She was an elephant, wasn't she? What do you get when you cross an elephant with a rhinoceros? Elevino. I'm not a very good joke teller. You'd think that my choice of profession would lend towards being a comedian, but I'm really not very funny. I'm funny, but not because I'm trying to be funny, but because personality. But if I try to be funny, I just sound like a moron. But you got a knack for it. You should hang in there. Do a couple of open mics. flex that muscle a couple times. I think you'd be a good comedian. You just got to learn how to talk faster. You're a little slow. But you got it honest. You remind me of my boss man, David, who talks very deliberately and has to make sure to tell you every little detail in order, and by the time you're like, just spit it out. Hey, Kevin Cox, what's happening, my brother? Welcome to the show. Good to see you. How's the weather there in FLA? It's kind of rainy here. Not hard rain, just kind of drizzly rain, but it's been doing it all day long, steady and straight. That's good sleeping rain. That's the kind of rain you like to curl up in a hammock and just rock and listen, rock and listen. Good weather in Florida? Well, good. That's good. Wonder why it's raining here, being in the middle of the country and all. It's not like stormy, though. You know what I mean? There's no clouds. It's just drizzly rain. It's rather interesting. I got one of the parts in for my motorcycle yesterday, a new chain. They have began to arrive. So between now and the 25th, I will get them all. About 5 things I've ordered. And then I will begin to rebuild. I can do it. I have the technology. It will be better than ever before. But he'll make a funny sound when he runs, like for some reason. But not when he does anything else. Wonder if he makes that sound when he pees, like. That's they couldn't replace the prostate. They didn't have that much money. We're talking about the $6 million man, in case you're not following along. Which, adjusted for inflation, is the, $24.95 man. $6 million? Well, that wouldn't even buy his feet. Somebody get Trump on the line. What's that? We left Afghanistan and the economy crashed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the $5,000 man. See what I mean? It's funny in my head. Doesn't really translate that well, though. For the love of God, somebody say something, please. Other than that. So, what would you guys like to hear about today? I shall begin the chat mining now. And as more people join, I'll ask them too. What would you like to hear about, though? What is something on your mind that you would like to read an article about? Give me some input so that I can give you some output and create a cycle. I have a question. What is a second cousin? Could somebody please tell me that? Because my answer was your cousin's children are your second cousins. And then somebody told me, nope, that's your cousin once removed. I'm like, yeah, meaning second cousin. That's the same thing. I got out of sync. Hold on. I'm holding. Somebody correct me. Kevin, you're a family lawyer. What is a second cousin legally? Is that not your cousin's children? And then the person said, it's in the same generation. They have the same great grandparents. I'm like, yeah, that means cousin. I know it's between the first and third cousin. Hey, April, how are you doing? Glad to have you here, sweetheart. Glad my cheerleader has arrived. Now, what would you like to hear about today? What topic has been titillating your brain? Squatch is my 17th cousin, 8 times removed. So in other words, you don't know what a second cousin is either. Your cousin's children. Yes, that's what I thought. But apparently I'm wrong. Somebody said that wasn't it. I think your first cousin is your mom's kid. I mean, your mom's brother's kid or sister's kid. And then their kids are your second cousins. And then their kids are your third cousins. If I'm not right, I don't know who else could be my second cousin. I am unsure about that. Probably closer than that. I think I'm right. I think when somebody says that's your such and such cousin twice removed, I think that's the same thing as saying second cousin. I think those are both just the same, just a different way of saying the same thing. Your cousin's kids. My father has 6 sisters, and his father had 6 sisters. Yeah, well, you see, your father having 6 sisters, meaning their children are your cousins, first cousins. Your father's siblings' children are your first cousins because your father's sibling is your aunt or your uncle. So their children are your cousins, and their children's children are your second cousins. That's the way I think it is. That's the way I've always seen it. And I can't imagine a scenario where there's any other option here. Joe Biden is not my cousin, but he is my comrade. Like Devin and Sonny are your second cousins. Right, that's what I thought. Because you're my first cousin. You can't bang your first cousins, but you can bang your third cousins for some reason. I think I'm right too. I think that person don't know what they're talking about. I've got quite a few cousins also. I've got cousins I don't even know. There's a whole cemetery full of names up there above Panther Branch that I don't know any of those people, but they're all related to me. I was uploading a joke. Well, I'm sorry I interrupted. We all have so many cousins. Well, not everybody. Some people have tiny families. But if you're from a family that had 6 or more children, then you have a lot of cousins. And I think our grandma had like 6 or 7 children. My dad's mom had 6 or 7 children. So I've got a lot of cousins on both sides that I don't know who they are. Some people I've seen, like famous people that I thought might be my cousins, they have a last name like Allen or something like that. But I have no way of proving it that they're from the same family that I'm from. But we do have resemblances. For example, Jamie Johnson, if you look at him, you could take a picture of Jamie Johnson and put him in with my family, and he'd look right like he belonged there. But he's from Alabama. So is he from the same Johnsons I'm from or not? Johnson is a common name, so who knows? And I know that I'm from Georgia, but did any of my ancestors live elsewhere? Could that be that they are from Alabama and then they moved to Georgia and had me? It's weird. It's a hard way to look. I do know that I don't belong to any good bloodline, though. Like, if you go back far enough into my family, only thing you're going to find is a guy named Shoemaker Joe that made shoes in a basement. That's it. Yeah, I've heard that too, but I don't know if I believe it about the uh, doppelganger. I don't know if I believe that. I don't think anybody looks like me. Of course, I have had people say they've seen people that look like me, but then when I saw them, I was like, that guy doesn't look like me. I think you're not paying attention. Your family has history, I know. You got that good last name, McCall. I just got a crappy last name, Johnson. I know I just doxed you. I'm sorry. It slipped. Nobody's listening, though. Why couldn't I have been named like Bar Joseph or something? Or, Trump would have been a nice last name. Or Tesla. Or somebody with a big name. I don't care. Yeah, I didn't mean to anyway. It happened. But yeah, I know your family has history. And some people in my family have history, but I don't. For example, the way I understand it, that my granny and Jesse James's mother were second cousins. And they were both Johnstons at one point with a T. And then my granny married a Johnson without the T. So she only had to drop a T off of her last name. That's the way I understand it. But apparently, through that, I'm related to Jesse James, the outlaw. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I heard. And I also heard that through one of my family members, I'm related to the Hatfields and McCoys on one side. I don't know if that's true or not either, but I know that I heard that before. I've never done any genealogy, as it were, but it would be nice to find out. It'd be nice to know what your bloodline entails and where your DNA goes. I'm just not willing to send my DNA to the government to find out. You tell me. How you feel about that? Both are true? Hmm. Now, one thing I will find interesting, though, on my mother's side of the family, they had the last name Allen, which is from the Scottish last name McAllen, or Irish, however you look at it. And that's a big name over there. However, when they migrated over here, they became nobodies. But I think over there, they were of some kind of royalty because that name is a big name over there. So somewhere way down the line on my mother's side, there might be something there, but I don't know how to find out. I don't know how to go about tracing that lineage back or where they came from. I would assume they came to Ellis Island at some point, but I don't really know. that seems to be the hub for where everybody came in at in the 1800s, 1900s. But that last name, Allen, that's a big name. So it could be a thing or it could not be a thing. Who knows? Wouldn't it be interesting if my lineage went straight back to the Allens that were those Allens, the ones that originally founded that country, which goes back to Scota, which is in the Bible, by the way. And that would be the person who founded Scotland. Scota was a female princess. She got marooned on that island and then claimed it as her own. No, both Hatfields and McCoys. It's the same family. There was a series of marriages that unified the clans, starting with Susan McCoy to Jedediah Hatfield. Devil ants. Why would you name your child Devil Ants? Makes no sense to me. But I like it. It's weird. But anyway, yeah. Both families. The Hatfields and McCoys fighting over moonshine. You kind of look like a Hatfielded McCoy. But that's a good last name, though. I don't have anything like that. Who are you related to, Kev? Oh, Kev, oh, Kev, oh, Kev, oh, Kev, oh, Kev. Oh, Kev, oh, Kev, oh, Kev, oh, Kev, oh, Kev. Oh, Kev, 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 oh, Kev. Who you related to? April, what would you like to talk about today? Susan, who was a psycho and is the source of our saying about not going Susan on me. I've never said that. I've never heard anybody say that. I have heard the term nutted up. Nutted up on him. It just don't have the same ring here as it does there. Oh, you're related to Nixon. That's interesting. So your mom was related to some Quakers, huh? So you got that in your lineage. Also, Robert E. Lee. Better circle all the wagons real quick or learn some sports. Which one or the other? I think there may be a general or two in the army that I was related to. Nobody famous, though. Nobody like Robert E. Lee. Just people that fought in the war. Also, Richard Henry Lee, singer of the Declaration of Independence, signer of the Declaration of Independence. That's interesting. So is your last name not Cox? Is it Lee? Is Cox a married name? I mean, how much of a bitch do you have to be referenced by name in a relation to being apeshit turd tossing nuts 2 generations later? I mean, yeah, that's pretty rough. Apeshit turd tossing nuts. That's a good one. And I think it's been a little longer than 2 generations. Probably more like 6 generations. It was a while ago. It was in the 1800s. It was back when they were still settling this land, this here land. Now, one thing I do find interesting, though, is Kentucky. Kentucky has a storied history, and their moonshine goings and comings is quite interesting. It's kind of like an organized crime back then, but with mountain folk. My mother was a Lightfoot. Interesting. They are related to the Lees. Okay. I am a particular kind of Indian called Cree, not Creek, Cree. I think the Creek Indians is an offshoot of the same thing, but they were the indigenous to Georgia and then moved to Oklahoma or something during the period of time when the army came through Georgia and took over all the lands, and they relocated all the Indians that were indigenous to that area that had no papers or anything. But they were poor to start with. They didn't have like a big tribe or anything. They were just kind of there, like the trailer park of the Indian Nation. That's what we were. And in Alabama, there's a museum dedicated to the Cree Indian, but we're not from Alabama. That's just where they put the museum for some reason. Tug Creek, Kentucky, to be specific. You ever see that show Justified? Wherever that is. I like it. They chose that area because of its history, storied history of that sort of thing. But I can't remember right off the top of my head where it was. I can't even remember the main character's name. I just remember the hat. Justified. But that was a good show. Damn good show. It got kind of weird at the end, but the very first 4 or 5 seasons of it was great. Or 2 or 3 seasons of it. I think it was only 4 seasons long, but anyway, it was great. I'm trying to think of what part of Kentucky that is. I'm just drawing a blank. I know there's a mountain there. Timothy Oliphant, yeah. I was talking about his character. I couldn't remember the character's name. But yeah, that's a great show. And I like Timothy Oliphant. He's a good actor. He's very Clint Eastwood in his mannerisms. Very smooth and don't give a fuck. Shoot you in the face. Well, it's time to go. Anybody got any ideas they'd like to discuss in article form? April, you had a good one last time. You got anything for me today? You guys seem to be kind of laid back today. Friday, chilling. Oh, and by the way, thank you for the gift. Appreciate it. I don't know if I said that before, but I'm saying it now. What does it take? Rock and roll ain't noise pollution. Rock and roll will never die. Yes, it will. Rock and roll ain't noise pollution. Rock and roll will never die. Yeah. Keep your eyes on the road, your hands upon the wheel. Keep your eyes on the road, your hands upon the wheel. Yeah, we're going to the roadhouse and have ourselves a real good time. To the back of the roadhouse, they got some bungalows. Back of the roadhouse, they got some bungalows. Yeah, that sort of people, you know, they get down low. Yeah, let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll all night long. Yeah. Conversation, people. It takes two or more. I guess I'm going to have to figure it out for myself. Great Sasquatch. How did you enjoy the stream last night? I received an email from Mandatory Carey. He expressed interest in doing the show. So we may have a guest coming up soon at some point where we talk about all things firearms related. Kind of enjoyed talking to him. He seems like a smart feller. And you sound better. I'm in there. I still have no voice. I don't know if you could tell that, but I was singing that an octave and a half low. He is email heavy. You mean he likes to email? Well, I see you driving around with a girl I love, and I fuck you too, and I'm sorry, I guess I was a Ferrari. That don't mean I can't get you there. You're an Xbox, I'm an Atari. Baby, I wanna play you there. I pity the fool that falls in love with you, and I'm like, fuck you too. Oh, CeeLo Green. I see you driving around town with a girl I love, and I'm like, you. There's a change in my pocket, just ain't enough, and I'm like, fuck you and you too, sorry, man, I'm sorry. That don't mean I can't get you there. Use an Xbox, I'm an Atari. Play the game and do that. Pity the fool that falls in love with you, and I'm like, fuck you. I enjoyed it, and I learned a lot too. Worked out my show format for 3, but it's perfect for 2. I'm glad I could be of some service to you, my friend. That is, after all, what you pay me for. I try very hard to be worth my salt. But sometimes I falter. But most of the time I deliver. Well, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? That lonesome place, sweet home Chicago. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 2 is 4. Come on, baby, won't you walk across the floor? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go to that lonesome place, sweet home Chicago? Also, once I figure out the window configuration, it should be very entertaining. This is what you need to figure out. I was observing. What you need to be sure that you do is make sure all of your videos start at 1 and do not repeat. So you need to be on the draw with the start and stop button. Make sure they start at 1 and not in the middle, and make sure that you don't have to stop it because it ruins the punchline of the joke. So you play the video and stop it at the end, and make sure that you don't go into the next video, and also make sure it doesn't repeat itself. And if you're going to do that, then let it repeat several times so it looks like you intended to do it. But if you don't do it every time exactly the same way, it'll look like you're not in control. So hopefully that helps. There's a boy and a girl, get it together now, talking to, get it together, slip away, give my baby, I'm going away, and there's an old in the distant line, where the eagle flies with the dove. If you can't be with the one you love, honey, love the one you're with. 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 Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's annoying as shit, isn't it? She knows every name in the book. She knows how to live. She knows how to take. So many times she's been taken a fool by the alibis and lying eyes and all the best lies. Lord knows she's heard them all. She's been cheated on and pushed around and left alone. Lord knows what I put her through. Boy, you can bet who's been made. She knows how to make one on you. Yes, and keep fresh batteries charged. But if I were you, I would look hard into finding a way to have that thing plugged in instead of batteries. Batteries get expensive, and they do make a battery. Look this up on eBay. They make a battery that's not actually a battery. It's actually a power supply, but it plugs into the battery slot. And if they make it for that camera, that'd be awesome. I don't know that they do, but I've got one. And it just looks like a battery, and you plug it into where the battery goes, but you can plug the other end into the wall, and you have you have a plugged-in power supply. Hey, everybody. It's going to be a slow Friday. I can see it now. You guys don't seem to be interested in talking articles, so we'll just chit-chat till you get bored. And then I'll leave with my tail tucked between my legs because y'all don't really love me. I'm just teasing. I wish my voice was better. I'd love to sing for you guys, but you're just going to have to deal with me squawking because that's the best I can pull off right now. Old Mr. Laryngitis. I have laryngitis. Apparently it's chronic. But you can enjoy my guitar stylings. You don't have to hear me sing. I can just play for you. If you're into that sort of thing. Sometimes you need to pick on something. I try to pick on things my own size. She never mentions the word addiction in certain company. Tell the whole world she's an orphan after she does your whole family. Ow! She talks to angels, calls them out by name. She talks to angels. I wish I knew the song to sing. Loose come to find you. I come home late at night with my boots in my hand. Oh shit. Stumbling the... Never mind. I come home late at night with my boots in my hand. Stumble in the back door, being quiet as I can. Yeah, that's too high. I know she's there alone, cold and in her bed, and she's crying, 'cause I'm breaking up our home, and she knows. I guess I'm gonna have to be a drummer. I can see it now. Caucasian, talk to me, man. Tell me something. Jesus, you guys are awful quiet tonight. We're supposed to be having a good time, not minding our own business. It is a podcast. It requires more than my attention. No, it's an old song. I just can't sing the damn thing. I thought I could, but it didn't work out. I can't hit the note. I shouldn't even be trying, you know. I've got nothing but bottom, just vibration to make sound with. I have no control over my voice at all. I have no range. Occasionally I can squeak out some notes, but not enough to sing a song. Unless it's like a real low song, you know, like Johnny Cash or something, I can probably pull off, but... Like, Papa drove a truck nearly all his life. You know what drove Mama crazy, being a trucker's wife. The part she couldn't handle was a being alone. I guess she needed more to hold than just a telephone. Papa drove his car and did it in. I heard it better be down there. Mama was a looker, Lord, as she shined. Papa was a good but the jealous kind. Papa was, Mama loved me. Mama's in the graveyard, Papa's in the pen. Well, it was bound to happen, and one night it did. Papa came home and it was just us kids. He had a dozen roses and a bottle of wine. If he was looking to surprise her, he was doing fine. Heard him dropping Mama up and down the hall. Then I heard the bottle break against that bedroom wall. Old diesel engine made a creepy sound when he fired it up and headed into town. Well, the picture in the paper showed the scene real well. Papa's rig was buried in the local motel. The desk clerk said he saw it all real clear. He never hit the brakes and that bitch was shifting gears. Mama was a looker, Lord, as she shined. Papa was a good one, but the jealous kind. Papa loved Mama, Mama loved me. Daddy's in the graveyard, Mama's in the pen. My 8 fingers makes packing a bowl difficult. What'd you think about that rendition of that song? That was a little Jerry Reed, wasn't it? One thing's for sure, if it's doable, I'll find a way to get it done. Yeah, I can dig it, baby. I do at least 3 impossible things before dinner. I have never done anything that was impossible. What song would you like to hear me butcher next? He's going to bed. That's no way to hang out on a podcast. How is he going to bed? Come on, Kev. Sometimes I think you don't love me, man. I do this just for you, and you're going to go to bed on me. Terrible. I'm hanging out to see if anybody that actually wants to hear me talk comes in. Asshole. Next time I'll go to bed on you. I know it. I'm just messing with you. But I work hard too, you know. And I do a podcast after I work hard. I'm just saying. And I take a lot of drugs on top of that, so woohoo. Maybe. I'm just messing with you. Don't take me seriously. Yeah, go for LED lights. They don't get very hot and they don't use a lot of electricity and they pretty bright. They make a set, they're kind of square and they're about that big and about that deep. And you can put them up on poles or whatever, or hang them from a ceiling. Surely that increases the difficulty? No, not really. But if you look at the right place, you can get some good LEDs for about $20 a piece. That's not bad at all. I'm using photographer lights that have like the big umbrella, you know, big white umbrella, both sides, to diffuse the light. And you want to be considerate about diffusing the light. So you want to find some way to put a gel in front of it of some kind, whether it be a white piece of wax paper or a colored gel or something. But you don't want the light to shine right on you. You want it to be kind of diffuse. That way you get good, even lighting. And remember about the key light and the halo light or backlight. That'll give you depth. If you put a light on the back of your head, that'll give you depth in the camera field. And also, if you can put something in the foreground, like a plant or something, that'll give you depth also. Right now, we've got 3 layers of depth, and if I had a light shining on the back of my head, you could see the depth. But because I don't, it's just flat. But that's kind of what I was going for, though. Also, I have no place back there to put a light, so. And lighting is kind of one of my things. It's what I do. You know, stage setup and all that. A lot of years of setting up band lights. It's kind of gets in your blood. Not that I'm any good at it, but I can do it. I feel as though I'm losing my audience here. Tired, preoccupied, and no Diego for some reason. No Alpine Gulch. No mandatory carry. Matter of fact, it says I only got 3 people here. And a minute ago it said I only had 1 person here, but I know that ain't true. I think they just give you whatever numbers they want to give you, whether it's true or not. So, true story. I once opened a show for David Allen Coe, and at the end of the show, they were chanting my name, not his, and he got mad at me for it. It took a long time before I could play on his show again. Man, it's not my fault. I didn't tell him to do that. I also didn't tell him to show up drunk and put on a shitty show either. And then another time, I did a show with David Allen Coe. He comes out, plays 3 songs, and gets up and leaves. Leaves about 1,000 people standing there wanting more. So my band had already left. The only people that were left were me and my drummer. So I got my drummer and we went up there and did an acoustic show. And he just kind of provided a beat for me. And I did all the work on the acoustic guitar. And we entertained David Allen Coe's crowd with David Allen Coe's songs. But I didn't get David Allen Coe's money. He got paid, but I didn't. For that. I got paid for my part, but not his part. The death time slot is Friday night at 11. If you're talking about television shows and prime time, that's the death time slot, Friday at 11. Because it's after the 10 o'clock news. And anybody that would be in your demographic is out partying or asleep. Yeah, I appreciate that. A lot of people felt that way that night for sure. He did not put on a very good show at all. And I say, I love David Allen Coe, but I love him because he's a songwriter, and I appreciate that part, that aspect. Not so much his voice, but his writing ability. And he's not a very good person either. I mean, he's kind of an asshole, an arrogant, cocky asshole. and he's got some pretty strange ideas about things. But he is one hell of a songwriter, and I'll give him that. And that is one name-dropping fool, too. He'll name-drop in a heartbeat. Calls everybody his best friend, whether they know him or not. If they got any kind of name, he wants to attach his name to it. But he has also collaborated with a lot of big names like Kid Rock and such. He actually wrote this song. I've been sitting here trying to find myself and need to get behind myself. Need to rewind myself. Looking for the payback. Listen to the playback. They say that every man bleeds just like me. Feel like number one, even when I'm last in line. Watch my baby song, helps to pass the time. I make too many bills, helps to ease my pain. I made a couple dollar bills, but I still feel the same. Everybody knows my name, they yell it way out loud. People try to comfort me, but it's hard to hang out in a crowd. Guess that's the price you pay to be a big shot like I am. Outstretched hands and one night stands, and still I can't find love. When it all comes tumbling down, I will always be around. People don't know about the things I say and do. They don't understand all the shit that I've been through. It's been so long since I've been home. I ain't put my bare feet on the red dirt roads of Georgia for way, way too long. Maybe I forgot all the things I missed, but in my heart I know there's gotta be more to life than this. More to life than this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When it all comes tumbling down, I will always be around. I forgot the rest of the song. People don't know about the things I say and do. They don't understand all the shit that I've been through. Maybe I forgot. Yeah, I can't remember the next verse. Oh well. When it all comes tumbling down, I'll always be around. Okay. Yep, only God knows why. He wrote that song, David Allen Coe. Even though he didn't get a credit for it, he did write it. And he wrote a song for Uncle Cracker, too, but I don't know which one. And he wrote lots of songs with Pantera, the rock band, the heavy metal band. And he says, I don't know if he's true or not, but he says he contributed to writing Purple Rain, but I don't think that's true. That was a very Prince song, but he says he did. Who knows? He says he wrote songs for Elvis. I don't know if that's true or not. But the songs that he did write are pretty fabulous. So, take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Woman done left, took all the reasons I've been working for. One of these days I'm gonna blow my top, and that bitch she's gonna pay. Take his job and shove it. I ain't working here today. See, a lot of people think Johnny Paycheck wrote that song, but he did not. He recorded it, but he did not write it. David Allan Coe wrote it. And he wrote the song Please Come to Boston. And he wrote the song Tennessee Whiskey. Along with a couple of other people, a husband and wife. And he wrote Would You Lay With Me in a Field of Stone? He probably contributed to Delta Dawn. That was his era of time when he was writing. He wrote the perfect country and western song. You Don't Have to Call Me Darling. It was all I could do to keep from crying. Sometimes it seems so useless to remain. Yep, I can't hit that note at all. Would you lay with me in a field of stone if my needs were strong? Would you lay with me? No, Hank did not sing Take This Job and Shove It. He may have sang it, but he didn't make it famous. Johnny Paycheck did. And David Allan Coe wrote it. Take his job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Headed up to San Francisco for a big time Labor Day show. I got my hush puppies on. I guess I never was meant for glitter and rock and roll. Honey, I need you so. Come Monday, it'll be alright. Come Monday, I'll be holding your child. I've spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze, and I just want you back by my side. Yeah, I like that song, Come Monday. That's a Jimmy Buffett song, written by Jimmy Buffett. Very well written, too. And I do like that song a lot. Come Monday, it'll be all right. Cheeseburger in paradise. Yep. And Volcano. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But time I'm gonna go where the volcano blows. Hell now. I like Jimmy Buffett. He's a good songwriter also. Of course, anybody that penned Margaritaville knows they're sitting on top of the world. But he also wrote great songs like Pencil Thin Mustache. I wish I had a pencil thin mustache, the Boston blackhead kind. A two-tone Ricky Ricardo jacket and an autographed picture of Andy Devine, yeah. I remember being buck-toothed and skinny, riding shotgun, disguised in East Penny. Oh, I wish I had a pencil and mustache. I could solve some mysteries too. Brill cream, a little dabble do you. I could solve some mysteries too. I know you did. You're the one that turned me on to that song, Caucasian. The Ballad of Spider John. I don't know that one. I know. Well, I used to wake the morning before the roosters crow, searching for soda bottles to get myself some dough. Brought 'em down to the corner store. Cash 'em in and give my money to a man named Curtis Lowe. Oh, Kurt was a black man with white and curly hair. Used to play old dobro and did not have a care. Kurt was a black man playing the black man's blues. I can't keep going with it, but that's a good song. I think I'm getting a cold. Ugh. You ain't got the do you? Yes, Ballad of Curtis Lowe. And that's Loew. Why? I don't know. Pulled in Nazareth, was feeling about half-past dead. I need to find a place where I could lay my weary head. Hey, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? Looked and it smiled at me and no was all he said. Take a load off Annie, take a load for free. Take a load off Annie. Hey, won't you put the load right on me? I said, slow down, Miss Moses, ain't nothing you can say. Just old Luke and Luke is waiting on Judgment Day. Luke, my friend, what about Miss Annie Lee? I said, do me a favor, son. Won't you keep Annie Lee company when I take a load off Annie? Take a load for free. Take a load off Annie. Hey, won't you put the load right on me? That's a good song there. I don't actually know who wrote that song unless it's the band. What's that guy's name from the band? Anyway, The Weight by the band. That's the name of that song. The Weight, not Take a Load Off Annie. I've had 2 natural signs of the coming fall. Oh, yeah? The goldenrods are blooming early. And spider lilies are popping up. The Weight, that's right. The Weight by the band. And they're all great songs. Kind of hard to beat those tunes. But funny enough, I didn't appreciate them at the time. I grew into loving those songs. I guess you got to be old to appreciate those songs. But I was watching Daryl Hall, ABC, John Oates, Kevin and Mike Bacon, a bunch of guys jamming. Check it out, Jake. Mike. Kevin and his brother Michael Bacon have a great band. They really do. And it's not predicated on his fame as an actor. As a matter of fact, he kind of lived separate lives there. He didn't tell anybody he was in a band because he didn't want to use his fame to influence the popularity of the band. Wanted to make it on his own, you know. And so they just started releasing albums with no fanfare whatsoever. And they've built a pretty good little following for themselves. There's a good band also. They play a lot of great music. And his brother's a pretty good songwriter. Matter of fact, my song Elizabeth is based on one of their songs called Gray Green Eyes. And if you listen very closely to the bass line, you might hear the inspiration. No, I understood you meant it was on YouTube. I'm just saying. And I will check it out. Hall and Oates and the Bacon Brothers. Be pretty interesting. Sitting on the dock of the bay. Bill Withers. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the tides roll in, watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tides roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Yeah, it's a good song. They just redid the British invasion? Really? What do you mean? You mean all the rock and rollers from Britain came over to America and started singing songs for Americans again? Y'all hang on just a minute. I got to take care of some business. I'll be right back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I told you I'd be back. Hey, Diego, what's happening, brother? I'm finally out. Thank God I can chat with you guys a little bit. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm going to rework my set through StreamYards, and I should be ready. Okay. Diego, I have a question, says Caucasian. It's been a long day. Yes, it has. Well, what's the question, Caucasian? All the mental clusters in the world. That's a random statement. What do you mean? Well, you better get on that. Mental clusters. I'm baffled. Me too. What are you talking about, April? Mental clusters. Sounds like something interesting, like we might actually talk about it. I mean, I thought about just picking a subject and rolling with it, but I'd much rather it be something you guys are interested in. And if you're not really feeling it, I don't want to push it on you. So that's why I didn't just roll with it. That's why I'm just sitting here picking the guitar, waiting for somebody to say something interesting that I can cling on to with both feet. My throat's a little swollen today for some reason. A little bit of a sore throat going along with the lack of voice. First time in a long time it's been hurting. It's probably because it's raining outside. It's probably the weather. Anyway, Diego, do you have anything of interest you would like to discuss tonight? Nobody else seems to have any ideas. Nope, that's not a meaning. Meaning anything mental clusters has two people. We get that people are the ones who have mental clusters. We're asking, what did you mean by mental clusters? What are you referring to? What is the subject of your thought? Or the object of it? Can't have mental clusters without people. That sounded deep and intelligent, but what's behind it? That's what we were asking. Stress? Carpal tunnel, your turn. Oh, I thought we were saying random words. Yes. Mental clusters of stress. Things are mentally stressful. Got it. I would like to discuss the effects of crack cocaine on the inner city demographics of the late 80s. Well, that was a very deliberate and intentional strike on the black man by the CIA, trying to get some of the riffraff down. They thought they could do that by getting rid of the thing that is anathema. In other words, they thought crime is the problem and black people commit crimes, so we'll just get rid of black people. And the way we'll do it is by drugging them out and making them inactive. Well, not only black people but white people commit crimes, so that's kind of racist. But all they managed to do was cause a problem with cocaine, and people still committed crimes to get cocaine. So, all in all, it was a very negative thing, a blight on the cityscape of the 80s, and white flight, yeah. What it did was caused a lot of people to suffer, and we're having the same thing happen in the 2000s, but with opioids. And before that, it was acid and hallucinogenics in the 60s, and then crack cocaine in the 70s and 80s, and then powdered cocaine and LSD and um, um, what do you call that stuff that the kids do? Ecstasy in the 90s, and now opioids, which has been more successful than anything save crack at destroying an economy. And it's seeming repeat in the current event situation of the general abandoning of the cities today. Yes, of course. Oh, I heard of that. Well, it's not seemingly repetitive. It's purposely repetitive. And there is a larger game at play here. And I've been saying this for years, and people don't believe me when I tell them this, but there is a reason they want you in decline. You'd think that the government wants our country to prosper, and prospering would be the thing that they would strive for, but that's not it at all. They not only want us, but other cultures as well to be in decline because they make a lot of money off of our suffering. Now, you ask yourself, why would a country want, say, all these wars that we fight? Have you ever noticed that all the wars we fight are in countries that don't have the central world banking system set up? Never do we fight a country that is part of our economy. We only fight countries that are holding out against the old petrodollar, which used to be backed by the gold standard. Nixon did away with the gold standard and switched us to the petrodollar, forever putting us in opposition with the rest of the way the world works. And only by oil can we survive because we're on the petrodollar. That means that the amount of oil we have is what backs the value of our dollar. And now they are printing that shit like it's rice paper, and there's no way to have enough of anything of value to back that dollar. It's basically just an IOU. It's fantasy. It's magic Babylonian squares. That's all it is. It's paper. It has no value. The only value is value we ascribe to it. And when we stop ascribing value to it, it will then collapse, leaving us in a world economic crisis and the fall of the dollar. And when that happens, we're going to have to go to a different money system, such as Bitcoin or something like that, or credit card. It seems to be creating a distinct divide between those who comply and the others who do not. That is correct. But it's more than that. It's a class warfare. It's between the 1% and the rest of us. And the 1% is at the very tippy top of everything, and they have most of the wealth at the very top. And the rest of us live on the rest of it in increasing percents lower. It's very hard concept to wrap your head around, because most people do not think like that. Most people do not plan their days and orient their mind in that way of thinking. But that's the way the elites think, and they're thinking about domination, they're thinking about control, and the way they do that is by tanking economies. That's why people like George Soros exist, to tank economies, to cause problems that then they go in and sell the solution to at a high premium. You ever wonder why Windows computers are the only computers that have viruses? Because Bill Gates created the viruses so that he could sell the virus software. Well, you can take that same idea and extrapolate it out into the economy and into the world that we live in. They create the problem so that they can sell the solution at a high premium. Think about Haiti, for example. Haiti had an earthquake. Bill and Hillary Clinton Foundation jumped into high gear and raised billions of dollars to send over to Haiti, to which they got not one penny of it. Well, where did all that money go? Into Bill and Hillary Clinton's pocket. That's where it went. The Red Cross is the same kind of scam. In fact, most fundraising apparatus are that kind of scam. There are some legitimate ones, but most of them, and even the legitimate ones, take a large portion off the top for themselves. Next we discuss the reptilian overlords. If ever there were a reptilian overlord, it was Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, for sure. That's as close as you get to reptilian as far as I can see. I'm no David Icke, but I'm pretty sure I can figure that one out. Evil is evil. Or Mark Zuckerberg. That's a guy who is absolutely a snake in real life. Have you ever seen that guy? You ever seen him try to drink water? He doesn't look human at all. Very awkward. I believe we only have one reptilian overlord, though, and his name is Lucifer. Yeah, he looks like he could lick his own eye. I will tell you one thing, though, for certain. The Bible says that this world is ruled by the prince of principalities, the prince of darkness, the prince of the air. And it is correct. There's a bunch of evil going on in our world, and it's at the top of every financial business there is. I mean, you know what I mean. I left a word out there, but you know what I mean. And I believe it's responsible for the pandemic as well. I believe that ain't nothing more but another problem that the solution is for sale for. I think it just got out a little sooner than they anticipated it to get out, which is why they panicked. But I think that was in the plan to start with. I think it just got out too soon. I think if they'd have done it the way they wanted to do it, they would have had a vaccine ready and waiting to go when it got here. But the way they're pushing this vaccination and the booster shots and all, and then you look at other countries that don't play that shit and they're doing just fine. Yeah. There's something going on with all that. What's the most crazy conspiracy theory you could believe, that the earth is flat? Is that fast enough? I don't believe that, but I could believe it. There's enough evidence to prove that we've been lied to leads me to believe there's something else going on. I don't know what that something is, but some of the evidence tends to make people think the earth is flat. I tend to think it's a realm, and I think that nobody's ever been outside of it. That's what I think. Think, not believe. Because we're right on schedule for Agenda 21. That's not a conspiracy. It's called something else. It's called C-22. It's not called Agenda 21. Or C-14, maybe that's what it is. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a bill that was started in Canada and similar things. I think we call it the Green New Deal. But it's very specifically dividing us into sections or districts, if you will. And it won't be long, and that's the way the world's going to run. They are already calling us human commodities. Or what was it? That wasn't it. Jerry Nadler, one of the senators or governors or whatever, one of the House, called us a name today, and it was basically referring as products. You know, it wasn't commodity. That's not the word he used, but I can't remember what he said exactly. But he let it slip, and one of the reporters caught onto it and said, "Are you calling humans that? So refugees are products, huh?" Mm-hmm. And if you look at the way they're trying to classify people, you know, the vaxxed and the unvaxxed, those who have their papers can and those who don't can't, it won't be long. They'll be categorizing us into districts. These people here and those people there and these people in these camps. Won't be long. The Bible lays all of this out, which is why it's very important that we read it. But it tells you that it's going to get pretty bad in the end times. And it tells you specifically how it's going to get bad. And so far, we're right on track for that. Pretty soon, you will not be able to buy or sell anything without a certain mark or something. Don't get me wrong. I do not think that all of this that's going on right now is the mark of the beast. I do not think that. But I damn sure think it's that kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's the same kind of thing. And if you can't say no to this, how are you going to say no to the mark of the beast when it comes around? You have to say no. You have to stand your ground and be a sovereign human being. You have to take the stripes willingly. You know you won't be able to buy or sell anything. Start growing tomatoes and shit. You're going to need to. Get some chickens. Because you're not going to be able to participate in the world much longer. You never should have in the first place. We are to be of this world, but we are to be in this world, but not of it. We have to tarry and wait until our time comes. But we're not supposed to participate in the goings and comings of this earth. He said. That's what he said. All right, boys and girls, won't you do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so it'll give you notifications of when I'm going to be here. Reach out and tug on that like button. It's already sticking up and it'll make my day, I promise. Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family, make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're thinking. Question me, curse me, challenge me, bless me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid, drink your own damn Kool-Aid. As long as you're thinking, that's what I want. Critical thought coming from that brain of yours. And if you love what I'm doing, if you want to be part of something special, or you just want to help us keep the lights on, won't you please take a moment and go to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It's a win-win. It's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for you too. God notices these things. With that, I will round out the video. Thank you for your support. I'm participating in the goings and comings of this fish in my belly. I hadn't had fish in a long time, and I'm getting ready to go catch some, I think. I've got to brush up on my fishing skills. You see, my dad used to get drunk and force me to go fishing with him and then browbeat me the whole time, so I developed a real bad taste for fishing. Never did like going. So, I never learned how. But now, I'm starting to see the value in knowing how. So I'm going to have to brush up and learn how to fish, so that I can catch my own food when I need to. I already know how to shoot things, so that's not a problem. But fishing is a thing I need to get good at. One-handed guitar playing. All right, boys and girls. I've enjoyed the night. It's been kind of slow. You guys haven't been very talkative, but that's all right. We'll get the next one around. I'll see you guys on Sunday, 8 o'clock sharp, where we will delve into the Bible and finish out 2 Samuel. And I learned the value of building fish baskets. Is that where you catch a lot of fish while you're not there? Is that what a fish basket is? One of those little catchy things? Yeah, I need to learn how to do that too. Trot line. I'm going to, what's today, Friday? I'm going to watch Tucker Carlson and pass out. I've been kind of lazy today too. I hadn't felt real good, so I've been sleeping most of the day. And but I got some stuff I got to do tomorrow, laundry day and such. Oh, good night. I love you all true. Well, we love you too, and I hope Sunday you'll feel better. I learned to make them of willow. You mean the movie Willow or of willow tree? I don't even know what you're talking about. Me too. Hashtag me too. Pound me too. Pound me too. Easy, ladies. Don't be so aggressive. You'll get yours. Don't be so thirsty. Pound me too. Pound me too. Tree. Make fish baskets of willow. Well, I've never made a fish basket. But it's the first time for everything. Right now, I just want to learn how to put one on a hook. Catch one. LOL. Hashtag. Pound. 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 Back that ass up. Back that ass up. All right, boys and girls. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I love you true with all my heart. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. Be good to one another. Do things for each other. You itch, let somebody scratch. You scratch, let somebody itch. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day I'll get my voice back. Until then, I will squawk at you later. Thanks for watching.